Hi. Okay, everything looks good. Yep. Whoop, I've got to stop knocking the table. Oh, we got a few people joining. Okay, this is good. Let me just get the iPad sorted. I can't see who's here yet. And I'll put the right glasses on. Oh, can't even see out of those. Okay. Aha, there I am. Oh, we've got some people here. Mumsy's here. I can see comments. Hi, Mum. Okay, can you hear me all right? Say hi if you're here. Let me know you're watching. Got a few people. I can see there's people here. Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Okay, Mum, yep, can hear me. Hi, Diana. Thanks for stopping in. It's a crafting video today. I thought we'd make some cards. See if any more people are going to join us. Can see me okay, you can hear me okay. I think I've got the setup okay. So I'll just quickly show you what we're doing today. On the weekend, or it might have been Friday, it was recently, I posted up a Christmas card that I had made, which was actually for an order for someone. And Crystal really liked it. And she follows my page. And she said, could we have a video on this card? So I'm like, yeah, sure. Perfect excuse for a video. Not that I need one. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Sherry. Oh, some more people are stopping in. Hello. I hope you're both well. Yes, so she said, can we have a video on this Christmas card? And I'm like, absolutely, why not? And I was intending to do it on the weekend, and then it was Bathurst, and I'm like, yeah, nah, that can wait. Bathurst is more important. So I printed out a picture of the one that she commented on that she'd like to see made. So this was it, just so I've got a reference. Super simple one, and I'm going to show you how it's made. And then after that, we're going to make another one, and I'm going to completely wing it. And we're going to make it with new products that are coming to you guys soon. Well, now if you're a demonstrator, but next month for the general public. So I'm just going to put this aside and we're going to get cracking. So, right, the colours I've used for this card are a Mossy Meadow base. And then I've used copper foil with the white layer on top. I've used some designer paper to punch out the Christmas tree. And I've just realised we're going to be doing some embossing, and I haven't set up my heat gun. Here's me thinking I was all organised. So I've got some card bases here, all ready to go. And if you're not quite sure how to cut your card bases, the best way to cut them is get an A4 piece, cut it perfectly down the middle, landscape wise. So that's portrait, that's landscape. So straight down the middle, and that will give you 2 even halves. And then you've got no waste and 2 card bases per sheet. So little trick if you didn't know that, but I'm sure you all do. Just give that a burnish. It's great having the iPad in front of me because then I can keep myself in check and make sure that I'm doing everything in the right part. So you can see everything is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, now we've got to cut a copper layer. Oh, and I might just have to use the new Stampin' Up! Trimmer. Where's my, oh, copper foil's right in front of me. Glasses on, still can't see. And I run out of this. So, oh, what a shame I had to put in an order and buy some more. Now, I think for the layer, I'll just bring this back in. I don't know if you guys can see that in the photo. This card is up on my page I posted it in the last week. I know it was one day last week. I'm going to say either Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. I can't remember which day. So if you need to go back and reference the video on the page, just scroll through here. This is stitched. So that's done using the rectangle stitched framelits dies. And I'm pretty sure for that base piece, it's the biggest one. So that's the biggest one out of all of them. You get 13 in that, my lucky number, 13 in that set. I might just cut this into 6x6. So let's just pop this arm out. Still getting used to the new trimmer. But, oh, actually I didn't need to pop the arm out. No, I didn't. The 6-inch mark is right there. So I'll just pop that back in. Yep, getting used to it. Love it so far. Nice and easy to use. Beautiful cut. I do have some information about that too, but I can't tell you yet. Hello, Lynette. No, I need that. Right, where was I going with this? Okay. And then, so I just cut that piece of foil into 6x6. And I'm just going to eyeball it. No proper measuring here. What do they say about a cook? A real cook doesn't need to measure. Well, I reckon that's the same about a crafter. Real crafter doesn't need proper measurements. We just wing it, we eyeball it, we make it up as we go. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do it on this table, I'm going to do it off camera just to the side. I've got my big shot set up to the right of me on another table. I'm just going to run that through the big shot, and that will cut out that layer. So, and it's best if you have a clean plate, because what I think is going to happen is probably going to happen, but I might be lucky, but we'll see. Ooh. Okay, I'm back. All right, just pop that out of there. And because it's only a framelit, so you're doing just a frame, really all you're cutting is just the edges of this. You should only need to run it through the Big Shot once, or whatever die cutting machine you've got. Just pop that out of there. Now, what I was saying about clean plates was, I'll show you my plates. They're not as bad. I've replaced one rather than chucking both out. Hi, Deborah. Now I just chuck one out, and I put the really, really bad one on top and the clean one on the bottom. No, the clean one on the top and the bad one on the bottom, because anything like that's getting there. Anything that's marked on the top, as it rolls through the Big Shot and it presses in, it can mark your foil. So sometimes you'll get a really good cut with your foil, but then you'll get all these marks in it, and it's from the plate. So my advice to you would be, try and use a clean plate on the top if you can. I use the one that's not so bad. That's the one I replaced. It's not all that warped either. It's pretty flat. And I have a little bit on that one. It's not as bad as that one. But the next one that's going to need to be chucked out is that. And I'll replace it with a clean one. I'll put that on the bottom and the clean one on top, I think. Yeah, something like that. Sounds about right. Sounds good. That'll do. Okay. So then we just basically layer that on the top there. I'm not going to stick it down yet. I've gotten into the habit of getting all my elements ready and then laying it all out, and then when I'm happy with it, then adhering it all down. Hi, Chrissy. You just put a bit of printer paper over the foil so it doesn't get marked. Oh my goodness. How easy is that? Sherry, you've been holding out on me. What a great tip. I love it. Just a nice fresh piece of like reflex paper or whatever you use to put in your printer that you print on, because you only really need a piece this big. So you could just keep a nice clean piece on your desk somewhere and use that. Hey, why didn't I think of that? See, this is why I like doing videos, because I learn new things. Thank you very much for sharing that, Sherry. I appreciate it. Just if I don't do that next time, remind me. Okay, so we've got those bits done. Now we need to cut out using the same dies, but a smaller one, a white piece. So I've got a scrap piece of white here, and I pulled both of these two dies out because I'm not quite sure which one it is. No, that one's too big. I think it's that one. Yep, it's that one. So I'll put that one aside. So this piece should be big enough. Yep, so I'm just gonna run this through the big shot as well. So this is a pretty simple card. I reckon even a beginner could make this. And if you're not confident and you need a bit of a hand, find someone who does classes, who can sit with you while you do it, and just, you know, point out some tips and tricks and, you know, help you. The first couple of goes can be daunting, but you pick it up pretty quick. My white piece has got marks on. See, my plate's dropping stuff. I've got all gooey bits stuck to my plates. Okay, I'm definitely getting a piece of paper next time. I might be able to emboss the sentiment over that, and I've just realised I didn't get the stamp set out. Watching from New Zealand on holidays to celebrate your mum's 80th birthday yesterday. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, happy birthday, happy 80th birthday to your mumsy. New Zealand's lovely. I love New Zealand. Okay, so that bit's going to go on there like that. Now, this is why we don't adhere anything down yet. Because we've got the Christmas tree, which is pretty easy, but we've got to do the embossing. So with the Christmas tree, this is the Brightly Gleaming Designer Series paper from the holiday catalogue, which can be found on page 32. It's this beautiful shimmery one up here from the Brightly Gleaming suite. Normally I would go straight to the blues and the coppers, like the sheet with the stars on is really popular, but I thought, no, I'm going to do something I normally wouldn't do and use the greens, because I'm not really a green person, but you know, that's why I challenged myself to make this card. So I cut all my pieces into 6x6, and then that way I've got a smaller, more manageable piece to use. And I just picked that sheet. I think that might be the same sheet that I used on that card. Yeah, it is. And just get your Christmas tree punch one out. You shouldn't have any problems punching that out. I think we'll pop him up on dimensionals this time. I think when I made this one, I stuck him just completely flat to that white piece, but no, I think we'll pop him up this time. So I've got dimensionals on the side. I've got my Star Designer Elements coppery stars. We're going to put him on top of the tree. But first of all, we need to stamp the sentiment. So I put Merry Christmas on that one, but I feel like putting something different on that one. I do have one in mind. I just have to find it. Oh, my catalogue's fallen apart. I've used it enough. Like, I'd flick through it 2 or 3 times a day. Ah, there we go. Season's Greetings. I'm going to use that sentiment there, and that is from the So Many Stars bundle. So let me just get that out. And while I'm at it, I will get, what do I need to get? So Many Stars. I need to get the heat gun. That's what I'm thinking about. It's over here somewhere. And where am I going to plug it in? I can't believe I didn't set up the heat gun before I started the video. Oh, I had everything out. It's always the things you don't use all the time that you forget. I'm just finding somewhere to plug it in. Just give me a minute, folks. Okay. So we are going to make a bit of noise. That's all right. I don't mind making a bit of noise. Okay, I'm back. Now, I got some things out for embossing. I managed to remember the pad and my scratch paper, as the Americans call it. I'm using copper embossing powder. So I need a Versamark ink pad. You love the brightly gleaming papers, me too. I reckon they would be my favourite papers in the holiday catalogue. So some demos or some stampers have a clean Versamark ink pad and then a dirty one. Dirty one being one that they don't mind getting ink into. I don't. I like to keep this completely clean. So if you have ever seen the trick where you can emboss any Stampin' Up ink, I always did talk. I still do talk to myself. Thank you, Mumsy. Keeps me sane, believe it or not. I know exactly what I'm talking about, and at least I listen to myself and pay attention to myself. Okay, now what was I saying? Got me off track. Mum, what was I saying? Okay, if you have ever seen the trick of being able to heat emboss any Stampin' Up ink, you would put it in the Versamark first. So get the Versamark on your stamp, then you would stamp it in the ink colour of your choice, then pop it on your card, then put your powder on the top, and then heat emboss. But we're not doing that today. We're just using that by itself because we're using copper embossing powder and there's really no need to have ink underneath. The powder's going to do all the work. So I'm just going to get that sentiment out, and I suppose I need a block. That would be handy. And I suppose I need the right size blocks. So let me just get a block here. I need H, I think is the right size. Yes. Okay, and I love photopolymer because you don't have to lick them, and I know that sounds gross, but it's true. Okay, and he looks pretty straight. And we're going to get our white piece here, and look at this here. I've got marks. Yes, and if you can hear that, oh, I'm going to make the camera wobble. It's the only thing about my new Archon stand. I'm going to bump the desk, it makes the camera move. Because the other one was mounted from the roof, and this sits on the table and leans over. Okay, I've managed to get some of those marks off. Yes, if you can hear that, that's mowers in the background. They've decided to mow across the road. Of course they have. They went, oh, she's doing a video. Quick, let's start the mowers. I'm sure that's what they say. Okay. So ink him up nice. It's going to be difficult to see because it's Versamark. Well, you're not going to see it at all. So I always say just go your hardest, and you know what? I've just realised. Look, the sentiment's too big for the piece of paper. Okay. Right. Plan B. Okay, we're not using that sentiment. I need to go back to Merry Christmas. That's funny. The joys of live videos. Oh, bugger. All right. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just need to find where that Merry Christmas was. I know it's in one of these sets. I'm sure it's in one of these sets. Well, that was a bit silly, wasn't it? Thinking to myself, this stamp's awfully long. Oh my goodness, kids, I can't find it. Hello, Lynette. We got another Lynette. I think I've got two Lynettes watching. Well, okay, we've got a dilemma. Why can't I find... I'm looking for this. If anyone can find this sentiment. It's come from somewhere. Now I can't find it. What is going on? Oh, wait, found it. Yeah, that too. Bugger, damn, blast. Yeah. Yep. It's everything. Even naughty words I can't say. It's in Perfectly Plain stamp set. There we go. All right. Crisis over. Right, let's start that again, shall we? So that block is actually wrong. Just pop him away. And let's get the block I normally use. There we go. Same thing, photopolymer, so don't have to lick him. He's really sticky. Stick it to a clear block. I think that might be C. No. It's a D. It's a D block. Okay, try that again. Right. Put some, yeah, him. This guy. What's he called? Oh, far out, I've lost it. Lost my rhythm now. Stampin' Buddy. Anti-static thingy. You know what I mean. Oh, thanks, Vicky. This is how I craft all the time. And with the talking to myself too, that is just a given. But I could say, well, I'm not actually talking to myself because Tiger's in here somewhere, so I'm talking to the cat. So ink him up really nicely, stamp him on there, and again, you're not really going to see him because Versamark's clear. Bit of embossing powder. That is really messy. I'm really not happy with that. What has happened there? I've got scraggly bits. It really wasn't neat at all. Okay. No. Let's do it anyway because I'm reminded at least a couple of times a week that they're handmade, not Hallmark. They're not perfect. Always put the lid back on your embossing powder, trust me. Talking from experience there. That won't end well. Okay, I'm just going to make a bit of noise now. You're going to heat set it. Okay, and that's not a Stampin' Up heat gun, that's a Milwaukee heat gun, so I bought that from Bunnings, but Stampin' Up do sell them if you don't have one. And the Stampin' Up ones have 2 heat settings. Mine's just got it on and off. Nothing flash here, folks. Okay, so, and as you could see, when I did the heating up, I did it from underneath. Much easier. You're at less risk of burning your fingers, and the card doesn't, well, the paper doesn't warp as much. So I just find that easier. It's a little bit messy, but I might get away with it. It's not perfect, but you know, like I said. So he's going to go on there like that. We're going to pop him up on there like that. So I might just put the dimensionals on this guy. We don't want to use too many because I've used designer paper. It's thinner than cardstock. So if you put too many on, the dimensionals will weigh it down and warp it a bit and change its shape, and we want to keep the tree as flat as we can so it sits on the card nicely. I mark the back of my dimensionals, I scribble on them, so when they're on the back of the project, especially more so if you're using like 20 on a piece, you can see which ones you've taken the backing papers off of. So that's just another little trick. So I'm not going to pop him on just yet. I'm going to do that last. So I think we're pretty much ready to pop everything down now if we're happy. I think I'm going to use snail. Okay. So just eyeball it. At least with this size piece, you've got a bit to play with because you've got such a big border. So it won't be so noticeable if it is slightly off. And if it is slightly off, it doesn't matter. Okay, bit of snail on this guy as well. Sometimes I use multi-purpose liquid glue. Sometimes I use snail. Just depends. And pop him in the middle. If I use snail, I just make sure I get as close to the edge as I can. Okay, so he's embossed down here. Time to put the tree on, and we're going to pop the tree about there. And he looks nice popped up on dimensionals. And then we're just going to get... Hi, Leslie. How's Perth? My home state. I'm a Perthite. Yes, still morning there, of course. Only just. Be lunchtime soon. I think it's just gone 1 o'clock here. So it'd be 11 there, just after. And getting the star to sit where you want it's a bit tricky. You've got to hold your tongue right, kids. Actually, you know what I'll do. There we go. There we go, that's better. And then we've just popped a little star on top. I was hoping Crystal would be watching because she was the one that asked for the video, but that's okay. She can always watch it later. So we've got a Mossy Meadow base, which is a nice darkish green, I suppose you could say. That's in the neutrals colour family. Copper foil, Whisper White, cut out with the stitched rectangle dies. Designer paper of your choice. Good thing about this card is you can mix it up into any colours that you want. So if you want to do a night of navy base and silver foil, or even you could still use copper foil with Whisper White and then use another different coloured piece of paper from that brightly gleaming designer series paper set. Oh, good. Perth is good. Becoming more familiar with the local area. Excellent. Hi, Karen. Oh, wow, there's a few people here now. Yeah, and then you could, like I say, you can emboss this really in any colour you want, or, you know, you could do it in black or silver or gold, or, you know, if you've got other colour, red, if you've got red embossing powder, whatever colour embossing powder you've got, so you can change it up. So that's how that's made. So I hope that helps if you want to make that card. Now you've seen it done. So what I need to do though is just have a bit of a quick tidy up and organise, because now I want to get some new products out. This is what I've been waiting for. So if you watched my video, I don't know when it was, the last time I did a video, was it last week? I did the big one and I did the drawer. I mentioned that there's new products coming out next week, which is great. No, not next week, 1st of November. And it's a whole new suite. It's like a product medley sort of. You can buy the new products separately, or you can buy the whole bundle, which is everything. And I, in my wisdom, went, oh no, I won't use the stamp set and the dies, so I'll just get, you know, the blingy things like the paper and the ribbon and the embellishments. And then of course I saw something made that I really liked and went, made with the dies, and I went, well, that'll teach me, won't it? So I put in an order in for the stamp set and the dies. I bought the bundle because I get them at 10% off. And they've arrived today. So I thought we would use those products and make something. So here's what I bought. This is called Christmas Time is Here. Oh, the papers are stunning. And this is all I bought. I just bought the full pack of paper, and I bought the gold glitter enamel dots. That's a full packet. I haven't used anything yet. And this is the beautiful gold shimmer ribbon, because I went, oh yes, I'll use all those, easy. Yep. Then had to put in another order for the bundle, but that's okay. I've written the coordinating colors here. So yeah, it is beautiful. Hello, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining. It's, the paper's just stunning. If you haven't seen the paper, well, no, you won't have, because this is released to you guys officially the 1st of November, and you would have only seen it if you didn't see last week's video. So you get 4 sheets of that design, and then it's double-sided, so you get another design on the back. 4 sheets of this design, and it's blingy on one side and just a standard matte design on the other. So it's not blingy on that side, but it's like a gold foil finish. And it's roses. And the gold foil in it is so pretty. It's just beautiful. And I'm a paper nut, so I always gravitate towards the paper first. And I can't believe I'm going to cut this paper up, but it's got to be used, right? So let's get this order open. Haven't even opened it. I raced over, as soon as I saw it was sitting at the post office, raced over, picked it up, came home, made lunch for Paul and I, had lunch, started the video. So, woo! Okay, what I might do is just put this to one side because there's not enough room. I got some more holiday catalogues because I've had some people ask for them. And I'll just put these down here. What are we after? Get out what we're after. So I think roses dies, and there's the stamp set. And I got some other things, but they're not important to today's video. So, woohoo! Let's check this out. Have a look at this. Christmas rose. Oh, look at that. Oh, isn't it pretty? Photopolymer stamp set, 1 of 2. Yep, so you get 2 cases. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. I just noticed that. This set here is photopolymer. This one here is cling. It's not clear anymore. They're known as cling. And that's just one stamp. Okay, and I'm just gonna, I don't mount these labels on the back of my stamps anymore, so I just pop that in the back of the case, and I get this and rip off this sheet on the back, stick him to the case, and then he doesn't move. So that's that one done. Wow. And obviously I don't need to do that with the photopolymer. We're actually not going to use the stamp set today, but that will be the set that goes with the rest of that suite. And there was a bracelet apparently that went with it as well, which I didn't get. So I think that might be it. It's just the paper, the dots, ribbon, stamp set, dies, and a bracelet. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. All right. So what I was more after was these, because I want to show you something. The die, there is a die in here that matches the paper perfectly. Time for you to go and get Eric, so you'll catch the rest on replay. Awesome. Thanks a lot for stopping in, Sherry. Say hi to Eric for me. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's this one, but which paper it is? Oh, look at that. I found it. I think it's that design there. Don't think it's the other one. it's too busy. It's that one. So technically, this should fit over all of them. Yep, it does. That's what I wanted it for. That's all I wanted the dies for. So what I'm going to do is I'll make another card. I'll just trim this piece to 6 by 6 again, because I only need a small piece to use. And I can use that one there. If I cut him though, does he match just that one? Yeah, I don't think he matches this one here. So he'll match that one down there. Right. So he matches the big rose, not the little roses. So it doesn't really matter if I cut in between this one, because he doesn't coordinate with that one. Okay. Now, stop that from moving when it goes through the big shot. You can always get a little bit of washi tape or sticky tape. I find washi tape is less harsh. So line him up to what looks about right, and we're just going to stick a couple of bits on the edge. That should be enough. You just want to tack it, really. Just want to hold it in place so it doesn't move when it runs through the big shot. I'm just going to run it through and cut it out. And you should only need one pass. Yep. And it cuts that out beautifully. And for all intents and purposes, you'd think it was a die cut. Or you could just cut through one. You could cut out with the die. Yes, true, Leslie, true. Okay, so now we have to do something with that. All right, let's see what the coordinating colours were. Cherry Cobbler, Early Espresso. Okay, Cherry Cobbler. I think we put that on a Cherry Cobbler base, maybe. What am I thinking of doing here? Cherry Cobbler or Early Espresso. It might even look nice on Early Espresso. Let's have a look. Just getting some cardstock. Okay. I've got a Cherry Cobbler piece here. Okay, we've got embellishments and ribbon. I keep thinking of Michaela Tetheridge's card. Michaela is a demonstrator in the UK. I met her on the last incentive trip. Oh my goodness. And she's Artisan Design team member. Maybe. This is your favourite colour, Mumsy. Piece of that in the background. That over the top. Some gold ribbon and a sentiment somewhere. What other dies have we got? That die might be a tad too big. I only want something small that says Merry Christmas. I've got something in mind. I think I've got something in mind. It's not going to be all that complicated. So, just need to trim some more paper. I'm going to trim a bit of this. And we'll trim this at 6 again. 6 inches is basically this edge here. So much easier to line up. The arm clicks in place and everything just sits really nicely on this trimmer. So, right, now my layer, I think I'll go, now I'm going to go back to centimetres. I'm going to do 10 by 14.3. Yep, that's right. And then that's a nice even border around the edge. Always keep your offcuts. You just never know how handy they'll come in. They might be the perfect piece or perfect size for your next project. I'm not fussed on bows on a card. Piece down here and then a small sentiment over the top. Okay, I can run with that. Which means I'm going to need some white card. And I had some here, off cut from the last project we made. That is perfect, that piece. Just get the scissors out. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. It's a problem. Okay, got my white piece. And what colour will I stamp him in? I really think Cherry Cobbler is going to be best for this, because that seems to be the main colour. Let's work out, position everything where I want it. This is a good example of why you never adhere anything down yet while you're working out where you want to position everything. I sort of like it there actually. Yep. Righto. Okay, so I've found the best way to do ribbon now. Where's my snail? Couple of bits right on the edge on the back. Fold your ends over. Little piece in the middle to make sure he stays flat on the front. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Okay, now, do we pop up this guy on dimensionals or just stick him down like that? So you're basically letting the pattern of the designer paper do the work. You haven't had to fussy cut because the die's done it all for you. Yep, okay. I think he can just go straight down on that piece. So I might just put him on now. Up to you whether you use, hi Karen, I don't know which way's the right way, whether you use, I think I like it that way, glue or snail, doesn't matter, whatever is your preference, it's all fine by me, whatever spins your wheels. Okay. Yes, me like you already. And then I might use, I have a stamp set in mind. See, the catalogue's back out again for like the third or fourth time. There is a stamp set in here called Itty Bitty Christmas. There it is. And it's just small, as the name would suggest, small sentiments, one-liners, you know what I mean? Like they go that way. They're not chunky. Apart from that one, you could put that one in like a circle, cut out, punch or die. But I'm looking for something that just goes straight along. So I could use this one here, or Season's Greetings, or Celebrate the Season. So I'll just pull that set out. Where are we? Itty Bitty Christmas. There we go. Oh, new set. Haven't used this yet. Woohoo! I think I'll use something I haven't used before. I normally put Merry Christmas or Season's Greetings. I like Blessed Christmas Wishes. I like that. It's different. So let's find it. Which one do you think it will be? I reckon it's that one. It's got a nice font on it too. Okay, so I'm going to need a clear block. I had one here. Where'd you go? Oh, that's right. I'll grab another one. It's going to be... I'll get this size. Yep. Okay, as long as he's straight. So this is what the grid paper is good for. Line him up straight. That way, Michelle. On the grid. And then just come along on the block, pick him up, and then he's straight on the block. A white piece, now he's photopolymer, so we'll use a foam mat underneath, and we've got some cherry cobbler ink, and we'll just ink him up. Just going to put in there because I'm hoping, oh, that's nice. Let's see if I have a punch that I can punch him out with. I've got this one, but I don't know if it's going to, he's too long. Bugger, but I really like that. All right, so we won't use that sentiment. Bugger it, we're changing up again. Maybe I should have just stuck with Season's Greetings. I don't like Happy Holidays. It doesn't suit the card. Where's Season's Greetings? Up there. Yeah, I reckon he'll just go in. Okay, we'll try this one. Line him up on the block so he's straight. Bit of ink. So this is where your scrap pieces really come in handy. Oh, look, he fits perfectly. That's not word window. I think that's called classic label. Perfect. No fussy cutting. I will avoid fussy cut. I will do anything to avoid fussy cutting. Avoid it like the plague. Get that out of the way. I hate fussy cutting. One, I'm not good at it. Two, it's just too fiddly for me. I think, no, that's what dies are for. Okay. Yes. Okay. I am ready to put everything down now, I think. Okay, make sure the base is the right way. Hold the tongue right when you're happy with it. Give him a press, but I do want him up on dimensionals, but I'm going to use the mini ones because it's only a small piece, so I think the other ones are going to be too big. Righto, who nicked off with my tweezers? Ah. Ooh. He's lucky. I nearly blamed Paul. Who is at home, working from home today, out in the garage. I nearly put a sign up on the craft friend door. Do not enter. I sent him a text instead. Don't come in. I'm with you. I hate fussy cutting. Yep. Some people are really good at it and have got the patience for it. Me, I'm like, some people love it. I'm like, you're a weirdo. What is there to love about that? I love paper. I have a hard enough time cutting paper as it is. It makes me want to cry. Okay. Let's get some of these. Righto. Who ran off? Never mind, stop looking. I think I'll use the little ones so then it's not too much, because I really don't want to take away from that beautiful flower. And I'm going to put these little dots in these little cross sections here in the pattern of the paper, rather than, like, they're going to go randomly, but they're going to go where the lines meet up, which is why it's better to use the smaller ones. I think I'll only put 3 on the card. Oop. They say everything's better in 3s. And I might put 1 there. You can use the picker-upper, as I call it, the pick-me-up tool, or the paper piercer. Oh, went flying across the table. And I'll put 1 there. There we go. Ta-da! How easy was that? Beautiful. Look at that. In traditional Christmas colours. I just love that paper. I love it. And I just love how the die, normally the die goes with the stamp. You'll probably find the die does go with the stamp set as well. I reckon it goes with this image here, which is basically this image here. So you've got one that's already coloured and the hard work done for you, or if you like stamping, I was just being lazy and just showing an alternative. But yes, that. Yep. So that die coordinates with that stamp and that patterned paper, which I just love. Oh, thanks, Vicky. Not bad for a card done on the fly that I hadn't planned and had no idea. I just kept thinking of Michaela's card because them being on the artisan design team, they get all these new products well in advance, and they get to make, you know, what they want with it, and then it gets put in the artisan design album, and they get it before the demonstrator pre-order. So by the time we get it, they've already had it and played with it. So the first card I saw made with this stuff was Michaela's, and it was such a gorgeous card. And I thought, well, I don't want to completely case it, but I want to do something sort of along the same lines. So she's used a cherry cobbler base, this paper in the background, and this, and I thought she had coloured this, like she'd stamped it, coloured it, and then die cut it. And then it wasn't until last week I learned, no, some eagle-eye demo went, oh, look, the die matches the paper. And I went, oh, okay, well, I have to have it then. It's just made life so much easier. I'm not a big colourer. I will use that stamp set, but I think I'm going to use the die with the paper more. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that if I don't want to colour it, but I will come up with something. So another quick Christmas card. I really like that. Got to put my label on the back. So there's 2 cards done today. How good is that? We've got to put my label on the other card. Where'd the other card go? Ah, found it. So these products here. Oh, thanks, Mumsy. It is nice, isn't it? I think I'll definitely be getting some more of that paper, and I'll probably hoard it So 2 lovely Christmas cards, completely different from each other, but just as lovely. These products, okay, so it's an out of catalogue release is what I'm saying. Out of publication release. So it's like a special release. I think it's hey, Eric's in the house. Hey Eric, how are you? Just got home from school. I hope you had a good day at school. It's not for like a certain time, so it's not like only for the month of November. As far as I'm aware, it's while supplies last. So all I can say is if you want it, don't wait, because it could be very, very popular and it could sell out quickly. Its official release to customers is the 1st of November, and I will send a newsletter out with all the details and all the things you can get. Like I say, you can buy all of the products in the suite with 1 item code and 1 price will get you everything, or you can buy everything individually, so then you can just pick the things that you want if you don't want the whole thing, because I basically didn't realise I wanted the stamp set and dies and had to buy those later, and I don't want the bracelet and things like that. So you can just get whatever spins your wheels. My labels, Vistaprint. I get my labels and my return address labels and my Hello Day stickers all from Vistaprint. They make it very easy, and then you just design them or use one of their designs, put what you want on it, tell them how many labels you want, order them, they send it to you. So, and the more you order, the cheaper it gets. And I used to stamp handmade by on the back, and it was just getting really messy. So I think a label is just much neater. Yeah, that's it. So I'm really glad I got to use those new products today. If you have any questions about anything you've seen in today's video, don't be afraid to holler out. Hi Julie, you have missed it all. That's all right. Grab a coffee. When I'm finished, you can go back and watch the replay. We've made 2 cards today, one using new product. This one was for Crystal. I really hope Crystal gets to see this, because she wanted to see how this card was made. Yeah, and hopefully I'll do another crafting video soon with some more Christmas cards. Thanks everyone for stopping by and watching today. If you've stopped in, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thanks for saying hi and watching the antics of me putting a Christmas card together and not being very organised. I appreciate your patience. All right, guys, have a lovely afternoon, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.